guess I'm not being picked up as their fourth. Don't know if
no,
I'm actually
right?
that upset about it. I'll just join NA. At least then they'll have some hope of winning something. Like, what is this, EU? What is this? You pick up Richard. Richard. Like, I know it's nice to have someone to blame when things go wrong, but Richard.
Yeah.
I'm not hurt or anything. It's fine. It's fine. You know what? It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Nice to see you guys doing some charity work, but you know.
Look, he's their substitute ginger desk host. So
No.
they gotta give him some love.
No, absolutely not. And
He has just been complaining on Twitter about playing solos, though. He's after teammates, so I guess that's why they've gone.
And do you know why he's playing solos? Have you ever played with Richard? Have you ever played with
I've
Richard?
actually not. Apparently, he did say he's a very aggressive player.
Aggressive normally means that you get the kills and you frag out. He just runs at people, dude. It's not. It's not aggression. It's just being dumb. It's
senseless.
just. I love you, Rich. He's probably sat there watching because you know he's not actually playing the game. He's just sat there. Maybe you should put some practice time in. There's a lovely warm-up
That's
mode.
what he's doing.
Get in there, put the hours in.
We saw the playing path.
Oh, little sneak peek.
It was alright. It was pretty much standard middle one, so there's nothing exciting.
No one plays. Richard can't even type in English. No one plays me with because every other caster is playing Warcraft, says The Sims. Well, Richard, what's your excuse for being so bad then? I don't.
What's his excuse for not being 60 yet?
Ain't that the truth? Jeez.
I mean, I've no excuse, but his excuse was, you know, he's got this baby that was born in January, which was a valid excuse.
Absolutely valid.
And instead he sat there playing PUBG instead of Devlin.
Can't play PUBG, can't play WoW, sits in chat and whinges. My name's Richard The Sims. I don't know why I'm flaming Richard. It was the guys on the desk, let's be honest.
Right? But he's just, he's kind of brought it on himself.
Yeah, true. He tries to give it large in chat like I'm not going to sit here and see it. Like,
I know,
let's
what
be honest.
is this play mode from Wanted?
I like that.
What in the world?
Commit. Don't you just do that for the camera.
Have
you
the
commit.
keyboard up on your chest?
Hell yeah. just a very alpha move, you know? That's it.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Last game of the week. It's match number 75. I feel like I've done a lot of these. It's probably because I have.
Last game. All right, I need to get over it. I'm still a little bit jolted. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
You would have had to listen to Frozzy's or Martin's calls.
Look, Martin's not bad. Froz.
Wow.
Look, I saw those calls. As much as they're like, you know, they're blaming the IGL for that terrible Sosnovka Island call. You know when someone's so scared, they just, it's like watching ENCE sometimes, right? Now, ENCE have skill and ability, but
Look,
it's
they've
like,
just got Zaki. That's how scared they are.
I love a bit of Zaki. They're back up in my books. They're fine now. I mean, it's just like they, you know, you could do well. You could be brave and just get in there and be willing to fight. No, you can take a boat and die in the blue. That's the analysis desk way. That's the one.
Is that what they literally did? They were in a boat.
If anyone would like to get that clip, if you can just dig it out. So I think Froz was streaming. If anyone's got it.
It was was it a Twitch Rivals type thing, or what was it?
I think so.
It was something like that, right? It was a tournament.
Yeah, all right.
But, okay, anyway, that aside, we have drops. Obviously, Razor Edge going down to Sosnovka. So this is interesting because clearly Yasnaya was totally viable. The N47 still going across it. Razor Edge almost giving up on Yasnaya, I feel, at this rate. Yeah. 7-2. Novo. We'll see whether the circle favors the Sosnovka circle. It's been a few days since we've had that, so potentially we could go down there.
Really, yeah, I don't mind this from 7. I think it's a nice adjustment. Just because Tenses are probably kicking themselves now, that sucks. But still, I don't mind them doing that. It's a bit of a response. I don't know how well they are at playing this out. When ENCE dropped there with them, it was a really awkward battle. But 7's a very weird team to kind of keep your eyes on. The consistency that they play with and the way they actually, you know, theory craft their way forward is very unique to themselves.
Liquid just said it themselves. Everyone's playing a bit random at the moment, and 7 are definitely the ones that do it the most. You never know what's going to happen. He said, just keep your head down and play as you can as a team. And that's what's working out for them. Team Liquid, I think it must be one of their best ever weekends. They've got to be. That's 3 wins now, and they've all been big
kills.
Kill wins, yeah.
Yeah, they've been in the double digits a great deal. We're going back to the shack, are we, boys? Is this it? How many lives have been claimed at that shack? Just specifically. Actually, no, those two. The 2 of them there. That'd be good to see. Just in the sewers. Fair enough. And Liquid, as per usual. I'm liking seeing this, though, from Liquid. We asked for some time that they started to pick up the performance because you know the caliber that they can be, and this it feels like they have been in this week at the very least.
I mean, I'd hate to say because I did an article and put them down as it, but it was like asking Captain Obvious what teams will perform. I wanted actually, to be fair, I was 2 for 3 because I said TSM and they've had a pretty good week. Team Liquid, I wanted to see them step it up because they've had a dire last 2 weeks. 60, I think it was a 63-point week and a 70-something point week. This is definitely going to be 100 point plus. And I wanted NIP, but they actually, I should have gone with CrowCrowd because they're the team that have really stepped it up really this weekend. Although not the greatest of days today, but it was a good first few days.
Yeah, I can't expect them to be perpetually, up there, but when it feels like when they get the right game going for themselves, they deliver on it. This
could be one. This circle favours them, that's for sure. We'll see. Obviously, it's a relatively central circle. Almost the center circle is the hills outside Pochinki. So we may, if we're lucky, get a Pochinki finish.
Nice,
or we could just have one of the ones pulled down to the exact same spot we just had a minute ago.
Richard's flaming me again, and I want to keep talking about it.
What's he moaning about?
Called me a peon vector user. Sorry, I've got aim, bro. Like, you need the M249 to get a kill. Like, how many bullets do you need to miss before you land some? Like,
I can't get kills without the drop.
My name's Richard. Yeah, stop it. Stop trying to flame me, Richard. Will never go well for you. I love you dearly. You've got time to come up with them as well. I'm actually doing my job, unlike you. I love Rich, by the way. I am just kidding. Oh, that's a nice one for T-Bone. little Uzi there as well. He's like,
guys, I got no loot.
We need to get some loot, boys.
He's actually... how is he so low looted? Oh, right, they went over in the chat. They didn't get to Yasnaya.
I don't think they had the normal drop.
The other two members went to Yasnaya. They could have gone to Yasnaya.
I don't know what happened to their drop.
But he's got a micro Uzi. He's hoping for something else.
Yeah, hoping for an upgrade there. It's not quite the patch where that's as potent as it is on live. We do see, that's not nice. Shiv instantly gone. That is a setup and a half for DA, just sitting in the hillsides here, just outside the southeast of Ruins. That is a very nice little drop-off of loot for them.
Yeah, Rek kind of... How the hell did Rek, who drop in school and apps, not see DA go to that spot? They're literally next to each other. And we're like, oh, where's our neighbor gone? They've gone to that spot. Let's drive there. I can only assume they were
focus. I think that's it. It was just probably just not scouting and just kind of going through the motions. And this is something that
lumpy bit of hills outside of Ruins, it's
hard to scout.
Hard to see anything.
Yeah, it's not easy. There's a lot of areas that are quite tricky to spot. And I think it's also that teams and players will get into just the habit of going through the action of without the intent of actually someone being there. It's very hard to stay that focused, and it's something that doesn't. The wiggle hasn't saved you, Iro. Oh no.
Luckily, Gustav's there to save the day.
Pickup comes through.
So the Knights are going to go to, I think, Church, by the looks of it. Pochinki. We've got a few almost committed to the surrounding area of Pochinki. Bearing in mind, obviously, Pochinki is at the centre. I'd love to see
We're seeing some very close calls here. Rory's in a bit of danger. Out of the car he gets.
So this goes back to what Sam just said in the interview with Liquid. We are seeing a lot of fights early on. The pirouette has worked. It's paid off.
Oh, Rory, the magic was it. That's a nade.
That's a nade. I think you wanted to smoke that.
There it is.
There we go. Too slow.
Who's nabbing it?
Do we go back to the whole conversation of having a separate key for smoke and nade?
You should do at this point. Absolutely should do.
Because it seemed like that may well have been the case.
To be fair, I think it was pretty much dead anyway, but yeah, I think you should do at that point. TSM do make it with not all of their team there now. And
it is.
Yeah, the Knights didn't go quite to Church. They went for the standalone garage building, which is very, very powerful building. It'd be nice to have the Church as maybe a complementary position, or that northern quarter, just to allow to have maybe a cross back to Pochinki if it does end there. So it's a really nice supplementary position.
Nipple got the nice 2-2. They're on the mountain and down at the yellows, so giving themselves a cover position if it does decide to swing up the north. ENCE are out in towards Gatka, so they have pretty much the entirety of the west circle from almost, I would say, you could slice off about 30% of this circle from ENCE down, and there's nobody there. There's nobody in the west. Everybody's either on the east or in the center points as best as they can make it. So if this circle hard shifts west, they're laughing.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll find out. It's Iroh getting a little bit back there, Drayden going down. So that's a nice bit of revenge for sweet summer child Rory. Such a sweet boy. You don't want to hurt him. I don't know if there's a revive available from the Knight. He looks a little bit on his own here.
Not now.
No, and it looks like the smoke's coming in. And Snark! That's a big punish on Michael.
Did he get the Knight off? He did, but he didn't land it. So, nice. Yeah, very nice from Snark. That saved Big Drayden's booty. And I think Real should be able to get in and get the Resurrect off.
Udir's getting a little close for comfort, though. If he peeks over that ridge, there's a little bit of a hill that rolls up to this. And now they've all moved away from that garage building. He could maybe get a little bit of an off angle on the Knight, so they wouldn't expect it.
FaZe up on the potato.
And this time they've gone this way. Do you remember they did go for the old military island swing before? A little bit of a different circle, but maybe not feeling so scared of it this time. Maybe not having that warning signal that kind of gave away something to them. I don't know what it was that kind of set them up to not go there, and we didn't really find out as to why.
Worked out.
It worked out incredibly well, so I'm kind of interested as to what gave them that idea that now isn't there. So maybe just a different approach.
Well, from the Sunday driving of mxey, we now see where the circle will go. Oh, we're back to where we just been.
That's very similar to what we saw before, and again, it's Shack time. It is time for the Shacks to come out to play, and everyone is just, you know, migrating south here. Everyone's going to work their way down. The forest again becomes very viable out of Na'Vi's compound. Seven might beat them to it this time. Seven have a bit of a better pick. Edelweiss.
He just hit the lip. He thought he could drive up that bit. It's like bang. Stop
no, you
dead.
cannot.
G2 are just going to go back on the... Actually, nobody's in the big compound. GamerLegion are going to get it. They're benefiting from the one that Team Liquid had a moment ago. So, obviously, with the rotation, we're all going down from Pochinki Central Point, swinging it down. N47 of FaZe, all mingling with one another. Team Liquid up on the hillside. NIP on the hillside. Na'Vi down below. This is going to get very crowded in this forestry area.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a tricky one. I actually like NIP's position just purely because it's got those rocks to play off in the small compound just to the west of it. So if they kind of spread around that, very, very strong. Obviously, you're looking towards the south FaZe in a bit of a race. It's Mad Max time for a lot of these teams. SIMSY's going to punish Aitzy for that sort of play. Pulling up like that, you've got to be very careful, and now FaZe have to respond accordingly.
Turn, but they're going down to G2, so as soon as they head south, that's the second one gone. Fuzz goes out in a ball of flames, and you can see what they wanted. They were trying to get to the same position as last game. This time, they were beaten to the punch. G2, who they got, they caught out on that hillside. Razor Edge were there already. They played that hill, so they were in perfect position for this circle rotate with their little 2-2 split. GamerLegion winning the race. And TSM finally leaving Pochinki, but I'm not too sure they're going to go out unhindered because the Knights look like they have them at play. Wow, N47 are committing to the Shack already?
I mean, at this point, why not? It seems to end around that marker on a relatively regular basis. And it's a big area to pick up. It's just a nuisance for everyone else. Page going to now join in, so you have a 2-2 between either of them. Got to be a bit careful about it, and there comes the
okay, so two ways of this, because I literally just talked to Drayden about it, and he was like, I don't understand why Razor Edge went for the 2-2 Shack committal, because you can never hold them at 2. But, I mean, that's what N47 have just done. But from my point of view, I would say having 4 around a Shack is very dangerous, because a single pull-in or nade or anything, there's not enough space for 4.
Yeah, I just feel like you end up blocking each other, and I don't see it really working out that well either. I think there's no easy win from those Shacks. They're not meant to be a good position, right? They're not meant to be a stronghold to play out of. You're already in defensive mode, so I don't mind 2 because it does give you revive potential and a fight potential, but you don't block each other. Even with 2, you saw it was one of the players had to do a team kill just to be able to control the doorway. So
yeah.
It happens.
Commit SIMSY to the grave. Responsibility up on the hills. They're hoping for a western pull. Maybe it will go Quarry Way, who knows? Or maybe we just, the settings are saying, no, this is the point. Similar to last time, and they obviously ended in the hills previously. Maybe it will go north. Team Liquid in that northern hill point alongside NIP, and south of Chopsticks. DA once again in the compounds outside. Reciprocity here, way, way, way out in the northwest.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun to see if this... I hope it does go somewhere slightly different. I want it to go slightly further north, maybe around kind of like that Na'Vi Nip area. It's still very similar to before, a little bit more north in it still, I would say. Before we had that more play towards the forest on the south.
This is very similar to Friday's circle, isn't it? This one has gone that way. We had a very nice finish, in fairness, in that circle. It was nice and refreshing, but now this is the third time we've seen it in a weekend. Gets a little dry. Okay, Knights. You know what to do? You know what to do, boys. Which shack are you going for?
Oh, TSM, right in towards Reciprocity. Probably not going to expect someone here at this point, maybe? That's a two-person pickup there. That's a tag coming through already. If they get to see these guys real quick, and are they aware? Do they know how close they are to this? Monkey's nade is going to be so on point as well. That's going to instantly put them on alert. Yeah, Iroh has to back away now. Both of them are tagged up. Gustav and Iroh both on about half HP.
They're inside inside safely, but they're not in the circle. Iroh does get caught out. It's actually Tiikzu from the other hill. Oh, you hate it. You hate it, because Gustav's got to try and get down and get the revive on him. He's no man's land. ubah's been picked off. That's FaZe Clan gone down in 16th place. Their weekend is done, but they are at the top of the table for now. We'll see with TSM going out in 15th whether it's really Liquid, the only team that can challenge that first place for the week.
They're still in a very strong position, Liquid. They've got really good vision across this. And I think, again, this is what I want to highlight is I'm really glad, I think it was GamerLegion brought it up after their win on Sanhok, is sometimes you have to have these spread positions to be able to keep information and actually support each other's positions. So where Liquid currently reside, I don't mind this, as long as they respond really well. Connection from T-Bone here towards Bestalosh, so even though Na'Vi do take not quite the same compound, a similar one, they're going to be picked apart here, but it's going to be hard to get those flushes. Reciprocity in danger.
Yeah, they're kind of being almost corralled towards NIP and Team Liquid here. They're going to stop in between the two. Jeems is about to get the spread across. Yeah, they've gone right into Team Liquid. It's going to be NIP that steal the kill, though.
Anyone's just diving in on that, aren't they? It's a buffet out there of points. And now they know other positions. So this is what we were talking about with the Liquid spread. Because of these defilades and these dips that deny vision across, people can pull up a little bit, or they can get on foot and get up close to you. This is why you need that overall information play.
G2 just made the play. They got out from the crossroads at the bridge and then managed to make it across. So now Razor Edge realize they have somebody else on the hill with them. So the rest of the G2 can move across. It's Yannis and Braexco that will now make the move. And this is good response. Lynx is actually making a play along the hillside to try and get ahead of them, to get to that shack and give some cover off. He's got to be careful, though. There's nades coming his way. He gets inside the shack, but his car is gone.
He's a lucky boy to get there. And yeah, Lynxy now is their kind of beacon of information to pass it back and forward. He can try and maybe slow down G2 from getting complete control on this, but he's also... I don't want to say a throwaway player, but at this point you're just kind of playing for survival and be able to relay information to your team.
Well, you can see the line of fire. Look, the Mini 14's all lined up. That nade is going in, and you're gone.
Yeah.
There's no support from that.
No, there's nothing else you can do. G2 positioned well. New circle is hit. We are further to the east. The shacks are still in play for M47. So it's, you know, dig your heels in time because there's that big field that runs through the middle. The Knights are in the shack as well. Look at Liquid. Look at Na'Vi. They're all sending it towards the fields.
Yeah, it's the shack play. Which shack are you going to go for? So Liquid are choosing to sit to the one just by the hillside. There is a prime real estate. Seven are pulling up. Aduzi's there. Little nade coming out. There's the underhand. Who's he going to catch? Did he bounce off the car?
He's going to do it now.
Oh, that's bounced off the ridge. Oh, what a nade from Aduzi.
He's done another.
They can't get in. They can't get in. The car. What just happened?
It's a tragedy. What an absolute nightmare.
Oh, no. That's just the worst thing I've ever seen in PUBG.
That's just something else you hate to see it. Not like this, whatever you want. Like, none of that was good. None of that was good.
I want to hear Aduzi's comms. Oh, no. So he's like, don't worry, guys, I got this. Did that just pad his damage stats? I reckon it did.
God, it probably did, yeah.
But I think Krabic got 3 of the team kills.
Bloody hell.
Oh, Jesus. Well, okay. Anyway, there's still a big shack. Well, it's a little shack, but it's a prime shack.
Big shack.
Available dead center at this circle. There's 2 shacks available left overall. One in the fields that we may see G2 or Razor Edge going for right now.
I think Razor Edge has the vehicles ready. Chris is in his, but I actually don't know where they're going. They're looking like they want to fight this out, which is pretty brave, if I'm honest. And oh dear, you can see him down there. He's surrounded by a great deal of Finns. You've got ENCE, you've got CrowCrowd, and actually NIP in the south. So that could kick off any second here, but Real's going to find SIMSY.
Stolen away from the Shacks. Knights making it work out for them. Scoom, the last man standing for Reciprocity with CrowCrowd passing on by. Anyone going to look down the hill towards him? No, doesn't look like it. He chases his moment to get up. Tiikzu picked off on the hillside. That was ubah, but he will go down now.
One and done on that. Can't be expected to do much more. ENCE actually playing inside the circle, keeping CrowCrowd in a bad position, forcing them down towards NIP. We are seeing the snake of menox now coming out. That's a weird thing to say. Just proning around.
You said it.
Yeah, look, I've got to commit, right? TomiL being punished, Na'Vi controlling so far, and the Desperado's about to do the same thing.
No, they saw a doozy in the Shack, are like, no, we ain't having any of that. We just saw the kill feed a minute ago. So they're going to instead ultra nice position in the vehicles. It blocks them off from M47 and gives them enough cover from a doozy. So the little dip is going to work out for them. For now, their vehicles will be safe. But the problem is the rest of Na'Vi are still in this compound, and they kind of have a firing line. If they actually traded and moved into their building, they can see perfectly down the gully.
Yeah, wait and see if they go through, if they're looking for another angle, maybe something else to, to allow them a way in. I'm still looking for CrowCrowd, how they're going to get past NIP. This is the terrain that I really like to play in. I think it allows for good, fun fights. You can see gxey trying to use that low ground as best he can. Be a bit of a surprise factor. And the problem for CrowCrowd is there's no safe way to run. ENCE now control the north side, so they are just really running in against the grinder here.
And Rustanmar still causing problems for them. 4 members of ENCE alive. DA have got themselves a crate as well. Sort of further down in the northern side, almost running parallel with them. They all have to make the moves and get out of there. And I think gxey's actually using CrowCrowd's smokes to his advantage here.
Yeah, why not? He can play spoiler, can't he? He just needs to hold this angle. He's got the team's support behind him. He's got ENCE blocking off the north.
Team Liquid moving. Look at this. They're going for that little shack. It is free, so they're going to get there first. No problems. They can even set up a vehicle compound. They've got time. They're not under fire either. And actually, Jeems has decided to go for the little ditch. So they're not just committed. G2 are sending it for the Night Shack, though. They're all going to come in. It's one of those horrible wooden positions. And you can see they're all just going to pile on through. And then there's nothing the Knights can do about that.
No, that's just so brutal, isn't it? They had no idea what was going on in that scenario. There was just like everything happening at the same time. The CrowCrowd fight continuing, but it's going to be the Knights being swept up by G2. That is going to be confirmed points of theirs. It'd be under pressure from ABeautflDeath, so not without an answer. Temi makes a surprise visit over the ridge, but it's MBS to find him, and it looks like CrowCrowd have run out of options.
Yeah, NOOKIE and miikaz going the other side of the hill, and they're running into ENCE, so nowhere really for them to go. Sixmo has managed to find one of the remaining shacks that were available, so DA now have an outage point, as CrowCrowd will fall 11th place. It's been a good week for them, so I think they'll be fine with that, but now Na'Vi are making the move out of the house.
miseDOG, how far are these nades going?
He's a big boy.
And he's got a big arm on him, apparently, because they were really far away. Now, NIP, they were caught up in that CrowCrowd fight. That did give ENCE the jump off. They got in front of them a little bit here. Now there's not much left here. Actually, big pickup for gxey if he gets in here.
Oh, corner in the back. Team Liquid managed to get what they can from that one. SIMSY takes him. adoozy picks up a couple of kills as well from his shack. Now the rest of the Na'Vi move to adoozy's shack, so they're going to be inside safe. Set themselves up a compound, or thought about jumping out of the vehicle, but they get in perfectly safe. And now they can just reposition some of those vehicles if they want, if they're feeling brave, because they have some good coverage here.
They certainly do. It's the Desperados who could be a nuisance to them, because it's an angle they probably weren't expecting to be engaged upon. But the Desperados have a timer on them here. They can't stay in this position long. N47 already putting the pressure towards them. And we're going to see a ABeautflDeath again. The punish coming towards ENCE. And maybe they can make it to the shack, maybe not. It does seem a bit of a death point here now.
miikaz, it's in. The bike goes by, but I think they're safe for now. TRYFFELI was picked off his bike. SKUIJKE is going to finish as well. So 2 for them as DA do the damage. Now, the next circle move will be punishing for someone. The question is which shacks, which fields. Will it be GamerLegion, who've been quite happily doing the business from this compound?
And this is the options left for the Desperados. It's really not a nice one, is it? Into the fields we go. Hope we don't get spotted. Already fire coming through. That tracer fire coming in is not nice. adoozy being knocked is pretty imperative there as well. That's quite interesting to see happening. But it's going to be Vazku. Already going to punish Calvin Klein. You've got Ultra now in prone, just not trying to get anyone's attention, hoping that a third party comes in. Vazku has to leave now. The Blues there, so they're under pressure from GamerLegion, so they can't focus on that too much. But by now, he's already gone down.
What the Na'Vi have still left, because they're within range of Team Liquid to cause some problems. They've just got the knock on Gemty. They're not going to make a play of it yet, but if they have enough nades, they could cause some serious problems. The return fire, of course, Tiikzu was knocked by, I think it was GamerLegion maybe, or N47, I'm not too sure, a moment ago. N47 trying to work their way in, but GamerLegion have to get out of this compound now. They're going to have vehicles.
Ooh, nice tap from
where can they go? I think they want to deal with N47 and go for this spot.
It's a really good shout for them if they can make that happen, because it keeps them away from the bigger pack towards the northeast, and they can just try and deal with maybe Na'Vi down the line. Obviously, just Na'Vi isn't a sentence, I like to say. DA's running out of options in these hills in the north. They might have to kind of sweep a little bit, maybe more towards the west, but if they're feeling their safety in the east, just purely because teams can't see them.
Well, G2, they've taken 2 members of the Knights out already. They have to get a move in. Now, I assume they've still got competent vehicles there. I say competent. It's not one of the working vehicles. You can't have a vehicle that's competent or not. It doesn't exist.
Maybe a competent driver would do.
That's what I'm after. This is what I was talking about. Are they within nade range? Hell yes, they are, because Bestlosh has a hell of an arm on him.
Yeah, that's another nade coming in. Didn't quite make it that time. James is still with it. Just trying to keep his teammates alive, maybe if he can. If there's any suppressing fire, Bestlosh, I don't know how he got... Uh-oh, more nades. Uh-oh, here comes
more boys.
The barrage. Senya's got one. It's all kicking off. The Knights are being crashed
G2
upon as well. They're making the push. Already a knock towards Chris, though, slows down the roll, and Bestlosh does it.
It's a
nade,
triple.
It's perfect. He got the 2 knocks on the first. The third came in as James was with them. It's perfection from Na'Vi.
And DA are making their chance now. They're making the move while they're all engaged with G2 and the Knights. And now they've been spotted. That's the problem. So Yannis can turn and look their way, but the Liquid boys have just been decimated. And SIMSY, the last man standing in his shack, and that's getting encroached upon. There is a crate dropping on him. N47 looking to try and put pay to GamerLegion as they move out of the fields.
He's got a kill here. He's got a barrel. It's up close. It's personal, but it is Chris and G2 against him. He's got Chris down. NELLOZ is in danger. He's in that smoke. It could be anyone's game. NELLOZ gets away with it, but oh my word, that was far too close for comfort.
Does Wanted have any nades, anything at all? There's a where did that just come from? That came from GamerLegion. GamerLegion tossing the nades from the side. That's very close to them. And Snark has actually picked up the kills now because the damage that just came from that grenade. Splash damage is enough. DA still out in the field, so managed to get Mert down, but they should be able to get the revive off. Molly's in towards Wanted.
Could be just to avoid vision for now. I know it's not a smoke and it's not ideal, but you can use it to at least obscure vision a little bit. Ideally, you probably want it in there, but we'll take it for what it is here. NELLOZ, actually, that's not a bad angle to play with. Like, he can hold this. I think he's somewhat safe from the other side, too.
Or he could just get in UAZ. It really wants him to get in there.
Yeah.
Okay, Circle's shrunk down. SIMSY's happy in his shack, but you know there's 4 angry Russians that are looking his way. GamerLegion, they don't have to move from this one. They're looking across the fields and trying to make it theirs.
Yeah, they certainly are. GamerLegion's starting to spread out as well. The cover from the south is really, really limited, though. I think there's like one line they can utilize. Again, I don't play the fields much. This is more, what the Sims does. He likes to prone in fields and just hope for the best on a circle. NELLOZ there, going to get off the heel at least, but this is a really stalemate battle between the 2 of these players.
Wanted's down to 8 bandages. And pretty much a dream, really. Energy drinks boosting to what he can. DA, they've actually got Rustanmar down. miikaz, the last man for ENCE out in the fields.
DA have been playing quite well here. They've been getting a lot of knocks, a lot of pressure building. I don't know how much sustain they have, though, because they're still not in the new circle.
It's time for Na'Vi to turn the grinder, isn't it? 8 kills and counting, but it's time to move. They need to get active in this one. Rustanmar finished off. Aduzi steals that kill away. miikaz in the smoke. Shots still coming his way. GamerLegion trying to return fire on Na'Vi, and you can see Senya just took a big hit there. Has to heal himself up.
miikaz in the smoke. He's got the blue on his back. Pretty soon he has to make the run. He's playing from smoke to smoke. Bjorn does catch off a beautiful death, though. That's from south to north, so that is the entirety of the new circle being fought over here. Now Na'Vi are on the move. You highlighted it. They're going. They're going to meet DA. They're on the other side, but surely Na'Vi have used their nades. There's going to be danger here. DA probably still have theirs. Here come the nades. Be careful. Aduzi still has one. That's good. Didn't tick it just to buy him some time, maybe on the peak. Get those points, but GamerLegion across the field finding fire here. Yeah,
GamerLegion, they've actually moved right up on the field as well, so they've moved to a central point. Really nice play from them. Wanted came out on top against NELLOZ there. That long battle drawn out in the end. miikaz shows himself out of the smoke, and PUBG instantly puts him down. 10 kills and counting for Na'Vi as they come over the crest of the hill.
Dangerous angle, though. Mert is already being counted for, but it's a really dangerous angle to peek in because there's 2 angles that are very hard to fight against. They supplement and support each other. And there's still nades on Mert. Just give a dead nade. Buy yourself some time to get a heal. Nade goes in. That could
nice
catch him.
That's a great nade, yeah.
Senya coming back in as well, though. His could do well. Both of them looking to find this, and that's Pokemon dead, I think.
just splashed around the side. It won't catch them out though. Mert doing some work here. Pokemoldo revive coming in from Senya. BeautflDeath going to try and keep them at bay. GamerLegion have continued to move in. Wanted has to move from his shack now, but GamerLegion have him dead to rights the second he moves. Bjorn holding that off angle while the rest of the team are in center.
Remember, SIMSY's still alive. He has been so quiet in this. He doesn't want any of this action. But now we have 3 players up for Na'Vi, still against the 2 of DA. And DA are just going to sit here until the blue moves them in. Na'Vi can peel away from this. I don't know how much cover they'll have, but just as a player, you want to get rid of them. And there it is. BeautflDeath does the first bit of damage, and now it's go time. You want to punish now at the weakest. Mert tries to hold the line. Good spray on 1. Can he connect the second? No, denied in the end. BeautflDeath is having a huge game.
Yeah, the big man is performing. Revives will come in, so Na'Vi down to 3. But do not write them off. Now, next focus point is obviously Wanted. He's got nowhere to go in this shack. The blue is on his back. He may just do 9 points in the end here. GamerLegion, remember, Knights are the gatekeepers right now. They're in that 12th spot. They give the point to GamerLegion, who are in 13th and chasing. 7 kills and counting. This is a good performance from GamerLegion. They're going to be right on the back of the bubble at the promos at the moment. And now Na'Vi, this ledge that they have is just about inside the circle.
I think they actually might have to crest. I think GamerLegion have the high ground on the roll of that hill. I don't know if it's going to run up. They could prone up, maybe?
SIMSY left the shack. He's not in that wooden shack anymore. He's actually gone to a bush. So these guys are focusing. Team Liquid are looking at a second place here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're SIMSY, you're just not going to make a move. And obviously, GamerLegion don't know that Na'Vi are only on 3. They might have been able to keep track on the kill feed, but that was a while ago. And they just see them up at the moment. So this is going to be a big, big battle. Bjorn finds Pokemoldo. And Bjorn's only got 6 bullets left there, so he's going to try and make the play. This is a scary move to be made. I'm worried now if SIMSY gets kind of enticed to get involved and forced to fight, it could be game on. Maybe you lose track of things in the smokes.
Oh, they find him. They find him. SIMSY goes down, 3rd place for them. GamerLegion looking to try and take as many points as they can from this one. They've got really close with that wooden shack. Nade! Oh, that's a brilliant nade. It landed on Senya's foot. The second one comes in. Na'Vi are in all sorts of trouble. Pokemon are the last man standing, and GamerLegion all over them. They take a brilliant win here on Erangel. I don't know whether that completed the Chicken Dinner World Tour, but it was a fantastic play from GamerLegion nonetheless. 2 for the day.
Huge for them considering their current positioning. They needed this and they have found it when it mattered. What a decisive ending, keeping those nades till the very end. Very, very calm under pressure, clearing out SIMSY, no worries in that. That is really good mentality and holding their nerve that long.
It's a big warning sign for the Pittsburgh Knights, who sit in 12th place. GamerLegion are going to be right on them. That's another 21 points. I think they were 30 behind. It is going to be, it was almost a 50-point gap at the start of this week.
Yep.
They have absolutely stormed it this week. Really nicely played. Let's hear from GamerLegion with Sam.
Hello again, GamerLegion. This is a nice change, getting a chance to chat to you guys. 2 chicken dinners. What the desk likes to call the Big 5. You've faced off against them now in the end game twice and taken most of them out. Where did this confidence all of a sudden come from?
We just took positions that we know are strong, and we know the circle ends around, and we just made our way from there. Played well.
What happened between yesterday and today where suddenly GamerLegion has come to the party?
The first 2 games from us was really bad, and then we got into Sandhawk, we got a win, we got all the confidence boost, and now we're just rolling with it.
How aware are you of the points board at the moment? Because I mean, this is something now we're moving into the last week. Are you watching that? Is that part now when you walk out of here and you reevaluate before each game? Is that something that's sort of weighing quite heavy on you, knowing that you're sitting in the lower bottom?
Right now it's not. We really usually look at it after all the games. We don't really look at it between games because it doesn't make sense. We see like every game as a BO5 and then we play from there.
Well done. 2 chicken dinners, making sure you move out of those bottom 4. An incredible performance from GamerLegion today. Let's head back to the desk.
Keeping all the other teams on their toes that are trying to avoid relegation as GamerLegion gets themselves a 2nd chicken dinner in 1 day. Great stuff from them. However, I am notified that it is Currently not a Chicken Dinner World Tour for
No,
them.
it's not. So
No.
we call it out when it's happening.
Oh, there you go.
They got
The World
2
Tours,
wins.
They will be confirmed on the desk.
They got 2 wins on
Chicken
Erangel,
World Tour.
1 on Sanok. They need 1 on Miramar before they can join the Chicken Dinner World Tour.
I love how you say that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What a run from GL today, though. GamerLegion, they do not want to be in the bottom 4. They want to make it out of there, obviously. And this was, as we've talked about, this is the start. You need to start in this week so you can set yourself up for last week.
This is the momentum they need coming into the next week.
Yeah.
2 wins here, straight away. And they were chasing Pittsburgh Knights. Remember that. We saw Wanted in the shack. Not only did he go out before GamerLegion,
Yes.
but he basically gave GamerLegion a free point as well.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that, even if you have to deny yourself in that situation, I suppose. But let's take a look at the highlights here from the last game of the day. As Pittsburgh Knights got themselves a kill or 2 whilst moving on up through all of this. But once again, absolute carnage in a lot of these earlier stages of the games. Lots of fields, lots of fields.
Yeah, lots of field endings, but once again, we saw a lot of teams stepping for the shacks pretty early on, and then you had a team like Team Liquid. They wanted to play that ridge time. It was a good play, but it was a little bit too early. That was the problem.
That you as I'm like,
This was interesting.
oh yeah, this was insane. How did this occur?
It was just a big cluster of nades and cars and vehicles and everything. Braexco tried to do a drive-by on Pittsburgh Knights. They actually managed to pull up and take that position away from them. But Knights, they managed to defend it all the way towards the end. Nice nades from BestLodge all over. This is another one. Really good nades, really good opening interfacts with the nades, and confirms as well with this. Such a good.
That's why when you have 2 vehicles, 2 USs like that, you don't want to park them next to each other. You want to have a little bit of space.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not possible. In the heat of the moment, you're getting shot, the car is sliding, you can't do anything about it. But perfect scenario, you park it a little bit away from each other, making sure if a nade comes in, it's not going to take us all out in one.
DA almost caused the big upset for Na'Vi there, but these nades at the very end, GamerLegion had plenty to cause the artificial red zone and deny everything from Na'Vi there at the very end. Great stuff by them.
11 kills from them makes it 21 points. Makes it their best week by far. They're going to be ending on 84 points. Close to, like, it's above average, but this is what they needed to go into the next week to make sure that they can make a run for it to get out of our relegation zone in the bottom 4.
A lot of teams with the 0 points a game, unfortunately for FaZe, 7, TSM, and DESPERADO. So the top 2 leaders right now going out very early in this game means that it gives ample opportunity for all of those teams to try and catch up. As we take a look through our 1 through 8, and it will be up to the top. GamerLegion, 21 points for them. Na'Vi, 18 points. And of all the 4 teams that would like to get themselves even just a little bit extra, it was definitely Na'Vi, who were in 4th going into this game, which now means that the top 4 is going to be extremely close once again.
Yeah, I mean, they just passed Team Liquid more or less.
Okay.
Sure, you have FaZe Clan a little bit ahead of everybody else, but the others, they're trying to catch up right now. And I mean, they're doing a good job. Team Liquid, 3 wins in the recent 10 games. That tells a lot.
And 7 points here as well. 5 points coming in for placement. And very good stuff overall. Here are the overall standings as well. 1 through 4, very close. Going into the Super Week, it is anybody's tournament to win there when it comes to those 4 teams.
Look at GamerLegion though, 13th place currently. Today they started on 13th place as well, but they were 43 points behind Pittsburgh Knights. Now it's down to 17. If you're Pittsburgh Knights, it's time to get worried.
What do you
Very
think of
worried. It is 16 points though.
Sorry.
But they are close. And also look how big of a cushion there is from Desperados and Nelson Knights as well. They have another 13 points, so this is big for them. They need to continue. Another take as well. Liquid, they have the best week overall from our 15 games here, 154 points. Also the best day so far, 67 points. So overall, massive day for Liquid.
So Liquid, I talked about them a little bit earlier today, and they were not too worried. They knew that they only had 1 win, more or less 2 wins, but they weren't too worried because they knew that, all right, we've been playing decently. We know what the problem is, why we haven't been gathering too many points lately. At the same time, it's not too bad. We can come back from this, and right now they're showing us that.
And they are the winners from today. So
almost all circles.
Almost all circles. Team Liquid ruining my well, there was Team Liquid, it was Na'Vi before, ruining my circle bonanza. How dare they?
I don't know.
You don't.
I don't know. They're there.
I looked at you as if I was accusing you of something, and you just turned away saying, I don't know. I don't know.
It wasn't me that broke it. No. Overall, guys, I'm happy because next week it's gonna be a massive 21-game marathon. We're gonna have 4 days. The last day is gonna be 6 games.
I'm gonna be
two Sanak in one day.
You're usually pretty happy.
Yeah, but I'm excited.
You're super happy.
We're coming. We're getting close now.
You're super happy because it's a super week.
We're super happy.
I really wish when I'd say it, like production in the back, just like flick the echo switch. So it's like super. It'd be so good. I'd love it. All right, that does it for week number 5, guys. What are your closing thoughts, closing statements?
I mean, we've seen a lot of the big 5 stepping it up this weekend, and that's needed. We want to see them being this good because they're gonna go to PGC, most of them at least, probably all of them after next weekend. So they need to step it up right now because PL, that is the best place for them to practice for PGC.
Yeah.
Scrims isn't as good, and I mean, last week it's gonna be the last chance.
I'm excited to see whether it's going to be CrowCrowd or NIP because that's the 2 teams that it currently looks like it's going to be our 6th PGC spot.
Yes.
They're making a run for it. They're playing consistently as well. I'm excited to see what they're going to be able to bring to the table next week.
And it's only 5 points between them right now.
Yeah.
And remember, phase 2, same points. So whoever gets most points of them, that's who's going to go to PGC probably.
It's so close. All right, well, thank you very much, gentlemen. And thank you to everyone tuning in around the world as well. That does it here for week 5. A big thank you to DXRacer and, of course, Samsung bringing their C27 RG5 to the table here for all of these players to be playing on. We shall see you in week number 6. It's a super week. Don't you leave as we will conclude phase 3.